Welcome to the Hagen Advisory Podcast. Today we're talking to Lottie. Lottie and I have been working together for 10 years. She's been retired for about that long too. And one of my favorite observations in watching and getting to watch people retire is the learning curve of retiring. Retiring is not the passive thing that I think most people expect. It is very much a participation sport, and it's one that requires that you learn a whole new set of skills, circumstances, and they're usually very foreign to people. For some people who retire, day one of retirement is the first day in could be 50 years where every minute of that day is your own. So it's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be strange, and I don't think people are prepared for what they are in for when they retire. And not to make it sound like a thing that's not enjoyable, but I think there are a lot of surprises attached to going into this phase of your life, and we're going to dive into some of those today. Like I said, Lottie's been retired for 10 years, and imagine for a second that running your retirement is like running a business. And if that were the case, Lottie runs hers like a ruthless CEO. She is someone who has a very deep roster of friends who she trades favors with to extract the absolute most amount of fun out of her retirement at a very efficient clip. I'm convinced she spends every minute of every hour, every day planning out how she's going to get stuff done and get the most out of this phase of her life. She probably has all of 2027 planned with trips, maybe even 2028. Lottie, thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
Now you choose to be quiet. That's
what do you
rich.
Want me to say?
I don't want you to say anything you don't really want to say. Other than, do you have anything? Do you have anything to? I mean, I can't imagine you've done a podcast before. I mean, I've never done one of these before a few months ago. So. No, you've never done one?
No, I've never done a podcast.
Is this the longest
I've
you've
been
ever
taped for shows, but it hasn't been called a podcast in 40 years.
Is this the least amount of talking you've ever done in like 2 or 3 minutes?
No, not now.
Okay, so you've got nothing to add, so we can just dive in? Is that...
No, I'm going to follow your lead.
Okay. Let's get dark.
Okay.
We'll get this part over with. Do you know what a gerontologist is?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's a doctor for old people. Okay.
So
for seniors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, sure, sort of. Yeah.
But hopefully he coordinates all your other doctors. Go on.
Sort of, not really. They're more like
it's
a.
It's good to have one.
Well, I don't think they're doctors,
I have an
but they
internist,
do.
so
Yeah. So they are researchers, and they study aging. Right. So we're going to start today with some research that I've gathered from gerontologists, hospice care workers, and the most common findings of what those people learn from talking to people in hospice care and on their deathbed. This is why I said that we're getting dark. It's not super fun to talk about, but I think it's informative. I think this is a subject matter that a lot of people come back to me and talk about as they go into retirement because their mind naturally goes there because you're not working anymore. You don't have distraction of your hectic life anymore. It's been a while for you since you've retired, so it's probably old hat for you. But the thing that I found the most interesting amongst this research is the stuff that the most common regrets that the people that are being interviewed share with the gerontologists and the hospice care workers. So let me just list them off for you. Not appreciating their health while they had it. Top of the list. This one was more common amongst the male interviewees, but spending too much of their life working, not enough time with their family. I'll be interested to hear from you, like why you think that was.
We're going to go back to these right after you read them off.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
that's the plan. Thanks.
Okay.
Not spending more time with their family. That one's not a surprise. Well, let's start there. That's plenty for now. Whether there's more, but do you think you'll regret any of those three
Maybe
things?
like Frank Sinatra.
I don't follow.
Only I don't have any. But you want me to go on those questions?
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask you a different one. I mean,
Okay.
are you afraid that you? What do you think that you will think about when
When
when the day comes
84.
that where the Beatles song? It's 64, not 84.
I lied. Ask me the question.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know what it is anymore. Well,
What do I
mean,
regret as I get older?
No, that's probably a long list. So I'll spare you from that one. What do you think about those? Do you think any of those surprise you that this is what people think about when they are
What's the first
they're
one?
dying?
Your health?
Yeah, not
taking,
not
like,
not
appreciating your
appreciating,
health?
not doing more when not people realizing. I was healthy for all these years. I didn't do as much as I could have while I was healthy. I don't have my health anymore. I wish I would have done more. I wish I'd taken advantage of being healthy more than I did.
No, I don't feel any of those.
And you don't think you will. And
Only
yeah.
because I never smoked.
Yeah,
I drink minimally.
yeah. And you do.
Drugs well. Eating. I never was a pig, and I was always fussy. So it balances out. I hate the gym, but I always did stuff, work out, walk. So I never really did anything. I mean, I went to the doctor. I never really was sick, never had cancer, never had anything, never broke a bone except toes and fingers.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty lucky.
Well, that, and I think
And-
you have a ton of fun, right? So like
Right,
I think
and
that's where
both
people are going
parents-
with that. Like I didn't get as much out of my life as I could have while I was still healthy. Whereas you
No,
were doing stuff all the time.
I don't really
And
feel that way on negativity.
yeah, I did. I would.
It's an okay. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I never felt like, oh my God, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I did a lot more than a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't eat like a pig in excess. I don't sit at home on the couch at 40 and watch TV. I was active, so I think I did pretty okay. But not being sick is a big factor.
Yeah.
Not having a
Knock on
baby
wood.
is a big factor.
Is it?
Oh yeah, because if you have kids, right away it takes some age off you, and your attitude. My attitude is always up. So.
Is it?
Oh yeah, yeah. So,
Always.
90% of the time. Yeah.
Okay.
My depression is like minimal,
Okay.
and then I know to get out of it. So. You got to go there, and then you got to get out.
I mean, if we were able to like communicate after you died, and you were to tell me like, hey, I was on my deathbed, I didn't have any regrets, like that actually might not surprise me. So I'll read you the list, and none of
Okay.
none of these might be relevant. None of these might
I mean,
end
if
up
I
being
had to
relevant
die
for you.
today, it's a question you wouldn't ask me. The only thing I regret is I didn't have enough time.
Wait, what was that going to be? If you were going to die today, then what?
If I had to die today, my only regret would be dying because I didn't have enough time to do some more stuff.
Right,
But
you,
nothing in particular. I wouldn't regret
Yeah.
anything.
You wouldn't regret anything that you didn't do, or
No.
That's another common theme. Is
No.
it's way more. It's way more.
I mean, I'd like
people
to own
regret what they didn't do.
I'd like to own a plane and go all over and do that, but
God,
I mean, let's get
that's
real.
scary.
So there isn't anybody that I screwed me over that I really think I need to go back to, or, so it might be kind of boring, but it's not.
No, I mean it's what it
It
is.
makes me happy.
Yeah, no, and look, we should all be so lucky to be on our deathbeds and not really have much by the way of regrets.
And I hope that when I'm on my deathbed, I have Alzheimer's or something like that, and I won't really know it. So who cares? I'll be a real happy person.
Right, that's pleasant. But here are the other ones,
Okay.
the most common ones. Spending insufficient time and effort toward their relationships, not allowing themselves to be happy, and
Well, I can't
only-
answer 5 in one time.
Well, none of these are going to apply to you anyway because you did everything perfect. You don't regret anything. So
Well, they could talk, embellish.
And this one, I thought this one was interesting. People realize way later in life that happiness was actually a choice, and that they went a lot of years denying or depriving themselves, not letting themselves be happy. Next one, forgiveness of oneself and of others. And the last one is, I call this one bravery, because they didn't let themselves act on impulse, deep-seated desires. Say someone always wanted to run a business, they just didn't because maybe it just felt too risky, or they just never got around to it, or and so the bravery piece, I think, is also tied with the other note. This was like not being able to give and receive love, because it's going along with the theme of depriving themselves
So is
of
that in
like
the
stuff.
bravery part?
Yeah, I mean, it takes guts to let somebody care about you, and to care for somebody else. So I think that these all made the list of like most common feedback from these people. So do you think you'll avoid all those? I mean, that to me, that would be the most interesting thing to.
Is there a question in there?
I just asked it.
Well, give me a basic question
A basic question.
about all that wrapped up. Then I can give you an answer.
I don't know. Fine. Do any of those surprise you?
You mean like bravery? Like you don't do something because you're afraid, or
Yeah, people regret.
you feel you're not worthy, or
Yeah, and people
all the above.
and because remember, all those things that I listed are all regrets that people cite. On their.
I don't count them as regrets because they're not that big to me. But we'll go with your ideas. So, bravery, I could see when I was young, like 16 to 25 maybe, I would think along those terms. Maybe in high school I didn't do more but it really wasn't about bravery. I never had a push.
Yeah, but
So then I didn't have any confidence.
Okay, but these don't
So I
sound like
could call that
regrets.
bravery, right?
Yeah, but these don't sound like regrets. You're not regretting
Well,
not being brave enough.
Maybe if I grew up in a different family and you had more available to you, but I wouldn't really call that a regret,
But yeah,
because then
you don't choose your family.
that made me who I am
Yeah.
today, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So, but I'm not like, I don't regret it.
Okay.
But I could see that because I really never had a lot of confidence. But now I'm like a witch, so, but whatever,
Does that mean like you're a witch who's just
like a bitch.
now?
Now I
a
have a lot of
confident one?
confidence, and I have to hold back my mouth. So
No, you don't.
Not for
I'm
you.
just trying to clarify. Like, does that
But
mean
for
that
other
you are a witch who's just confident? By that you mean you're no longer unconfident, and that makes you a witch?
right, I'm not.
Got it. Okay, let's keep it
Nothing
moving.
bothers me.
Uh,
But again, I'm not sick.
yeah. Well, you just hit it on the head. I mean, if
That would be a whole new ballgame.
yep, if you are sick, then that's the only thing that matters, and
Yeah, I mean, the thing that matters the most is your health
yeah.
and world peace, but that's not happening. So
I mean,
we'll
that
go
you-
with my health because that's a personal issue.
Okay. Let's move on from the
Okay.
whole gerontology thing. So here's a better list, because this one's mine. This one's one that I
God.
came up with. And so, like I said in the beginning, I've got to observe people retiring for it'll be 24 years next year. And so I made a list of the
your
surprises, both pleasant and unpleasant, that people encounter when they retire, right? So stuff that happens to a lot of people that I've found or noticed that generally end up being surprises. So I've got unfortunately, there's 9 bad ones and 6 good ones that I came up with.
Are you
So
charging me for this therapy?
I am not. And
Oh, you
it's
really
nor-
do,
nor-
you
nor
know.
is it fair. I do have
In
a
that
list.
1%.
All right. So here's what I think people get surprised by in the unpleasant way when they retire. Loneliness. So this would also be, sorry, back up 1 second. This, I think, would also be like the skill set that people have to learn how to deal with when they retire. That's not exactly, what you sign up for when you retire. I mean, it probably makes sense intuitively, like, yeah, this is stuff that I'm going to run into. But these are like the 9 unpleasant ones that I think are the most prominent. So just bear with me. 1, loneliness. 2, constant bad news by way of like health updates, right? Like your peer group are all getting in their 60s and 70s, and so naturally it makes more sense to get more bad news more often. Family problems becoming yours, largely because you've got more time and not working. So that would be like, hey, Lottie, you're not working anymore. I'm down in the dumps. Can you come hang out with me and or lend me money because you have nothing better to do. Number 4, uncertainty, particularly of longevity. Like how long? I don't know how long I'm going to live, so I don't know how long I've got to plan for. And uncertainty around money. 5, being set in your ways, and meaning like I'm as old as I've ever been, and I have 40 years of experience in my routine, so it's even harder now to do new stuff and to break habits than it was. So people are most set in their ways when they retire. So doing new stuff and forming new patterns is as hard, is even harder when you retire than it was, when you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Number 6, too much time to think. This is probably along the loneliness pattern, but like it's a little different in that you got more time to deal with mortality and unpleasant stuff. You have too much time to think. You don't have distraction in your life that work provided when you were working. Yeah. Number 7, loss of identity. This is definitely not for you, but like people who identified themselves with their work. Their work was their identity, and loss of parental identity. Most retirees are empty nesters. My kids don't need me as much anymore, so people struggle with that. 8, loss of daily structure. Too much freedom, not enough structure can be bad for some people. And number 9, boredom. That's the list.
So where's the question?
What's your list? Like what you retired? What's been a pain in the ass that you've had to deal with that you weren't expecting to when you retired?
Well, I retired so that we could travel. So for me, I wanted to retire at 12 because I always hated to work because I had to work because you had to live. So I did nothing that I really wanted to do. Of course, I really wouldn't know what I wanted to do anyway. So I couldn't wait to retire. So when my husband decided to get a summer house, then I had to retire because we couldn't be out of the city for my job too long.
Okay.
So that's why I retired. So for me, it was fun because then my life got better because then I could do more stuff and enjoy it. And have a little financial was better than when I was single, so it was great. Then a friend of mine asked me to work part-time, but that was really like working out of your house, so that was great. So retirement was not boring or sad for me or a loss, as
Okay.
I picked up more stuff that I wanted to do and now could do whatever I wanted. So it was great.
So you've not been caught off guard by anything unpleasant?
Not at all.
But
No, I'm like I said, I've been dying to retire forever. So any of my friends, they'd say, "What do you want?" I want to retire, and they'd be 50. Why do you want to retire? Because I hate work. I don't want to ball. I hate work. And now that they're in their 60s, I can't wait to retire. I know why you retired early because you have fun. If you're not sick.
right.
So that's not a question for me.
Well, I can look, and if I'm just calling balls and strikes here. There has been a surprise that you're dealing with right now, and quite admirably. I've got to say, like, there is no possible scenario where you were imagining during your retirement that you would be caring for somebody in your house daily who is absolutely reliant on you to survive. So can you talk about that a little bit? Because that is like I said, it's both admirable and particularly because
Lottie.
they're not actual family. I mean, they're kind of family, but they're the in this case, it's the family you choose. So, um, what has that been like? And you tell me how much you want to share on this, but I will say it is an admirable thing you're doing because I think that guy is an absolute no man's land without you, and I think it's something that many people, when they retire, in some way, shape, or form, are going to have to deal with at some point, caring for somebody else around them in a way they weren't expecting, and in your case, like on an absolute, not even a daily basis, but like hour by hour. So, do you want to tell me about how this has all come to pass? And
It's like the movie, The Man That Came for a Knee Replacement and Never Left.
Well, in this case, like he's not leaving at all because he can't walk, right?
He's only leaving to go one place. That's it. Yeah, I have a friend, relative that lived out of state and didn't really wanted a knee replacement. He wanted better doctors, so he wanted to come here for Northwestern and was going to live in my lower level. And then he fell, and so now he's got bone on bone, so he doesn't walk that much, but otherwise he's all together. And he's OCD, and he's bipolar, and it only gets worse, and he's got other issues, and cancer and heart. So, knowing that, you didn't really plan on that, but he's there, and he's not going away. So, we've adjusted living with that. And so I live in increments.
What does that mean?
Well, a lot of my time now is in my own, where when I was retired, and I was never one to just relax, but then I learned to relax, which was great. So then if I wanted to sit down at my back porch, I could sit there for 5 hours and stare at the sky and fall asleep with a book. Where now I don't really do that, because if I'm home and he's there, we're not in the same level, but we're there.
Level as in level of the house, right?
Right, level in the house, right. And it's very hard for him to move around, so if I am home, then I do the lunch. Or then he doesn't eat dinner, we do the lunch, and then I'll visit. And I'm not one to sit and watch TV for 3 hours, but then I end up doing that. But otherwise, I have a life, and then I go out. But now if I go out, I think, well, should I do lunch for him first or leave it? So then, because it's easier. And it is what it is. So that's my increment.
Well, here's the thing. This story is not being told in the right enough context because, for one, is he a friend or a relative? Do you think?
A friend, really.
Okay.
But
So he's
longer than some relatives,
Yeah.
right?
So like a childhood friend, right? He's not.
Yeah, parents, yeah.
Okay. So this is someone who's not family,
Right.
right? Who you are looking after as if they were.
You're not obligated.
You said the plan was always for him. So he lived out of state, and so why was it always the plan? Why were you the default plan for him to live with once he left where he lived?
The thing was, he didn't really want to be alone as he got older. So he said, I know you have space. Can I move? And I thought, sure, why not? I don't care. He doesn't bother me. And then he wanted to get the knee replacement. And not that he would move out after the knee replacement, because why? It didn't bother me. He did what he did, I did what I did. But then he fell. And then he was in the hospital for rehab for 2 months. And he had a dog. But his dog and my dog got along. And so then now, and he always did bone on bone, and that's why I wanted a knee replacement. And he waited too long, and he got heart trouble. So after he fell, he was never going to be walking without a cane for sure, and now it's a walker unless he gets a knee replacement. And so now he's got all these other health issues that he may never get a knee replacement because why? Because he's old. So his living in my lower level now is different than his living in my lower level before.
Yeah, but even before he fell, right, there was always going to be he was always going to be reliant on you to like because he wasn't
Well,
he wasn't
he
going to
could.
drive. You weren't anticipating him
Well,
like
he
being
could
able to
drive
drive.
then if he got the knee replacement.
Okay.
It was his car. But then the minute he fell, it became my car. Because then he
And the
couldn't
fall was
drive.
bad enough that you knew he's never going to be totally independent again.
No. No. I mean, even with the knee replacement, he's not going anywhere.
Right. So that's when you did realize that he's no
Right.
longer his days of being totally independent are
I mean,
gone.
he goes to the bathroom, he does his thing. It's just hard to walk. And at this point, I don't see the knee replacement happening just because of a lot of other issues.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's going to happen with now? So it's like we talked, like you said, 5 years. Okay, I put that in my perspective now because I wasn't thinking like that before. I was just thinking like day to day. But in reality, there's heart issues, and personality issues. So I don't. So now I've got that 5-year thing in my head, like you brought up to me at lunch.
Yeah. So the daily routine is the thing that's fascinating to me because, even to come here, right? Like,
It's crazy.
You have a 3-hour window, right,
crazy.
to get there and back before, like, it's a problem if you're going if there's no one there for 6 hours.
I can do all that, but the thing is, you got to plan it. Where before I did what I wanted, when I wanted, where I wanted, and if I went out and I didn't come back for 3 days, it didn't matter.
Right, but now that would
Where
be a
now,
problem.
if I don't tell in advance, I could go for the 3 days. It's my life, but then I have to let him know because he's already planning his head.
Well, never mind his plans or his expectations. Like the logistics around you being gone for 3 days, like they involve him not eating, right? Does he?
I mean,
Does
if
he
I
need
were
help?
gone, I go a month to Florida. He's alone.
That's yeah. Well, that's another.
But I mean,
thing
you got
that-
to plan.
Right, which is this is the
And that's the problem, the planning. I mean, it's not a problem, but
It'd be a problem
that's
for
the
most,
bitch.
but you pull it off in a way that I still find
Right.
surprising because you have to draw on the resources of other friends
Right.
that not only are capable of doing the help for you, but like actually do it for
And
like
not a
days
lot
or
of
weeks at a
people
time.
help,
Well,
really.
I know because they're all scared of you, and they
like the one
and
that
they
you would
do it.
count on, you don't count on because whatever. But okay, it's my problem, not their problem.
Okay,
But
so
it's the mindset.
yeah, so let's talk about your yearly routine now involves a very cool trip that you're gone for a month, right? You go to Key West February, you're gone for a month. How in God's name do you do this with somebody who relies on you daily to get by? You have
Can I scream now? Because my life is my life, and I have my life, and I'm going to do what I want, and it just has
no. How do you actually do
road
it?
trips.
This is these.
Okay, the
like-
day to day.
Yeah, so you have a friend that comes in that does
Before
what?
I leave, no friend comes in.
Okay, then tell me. Then
Wait.
how does it go?
Okay, before I leave, I got to listen to them go on about, and I put that out of my brain because I don't care. I'm going. That's it. And short of him dying, then maybe I wouldn't go if he was dying and he only had 90 days to live. Okay, because then I'd go after he died. But normally, I'm going, and I set up where he'll eat a lot of frozen foods that I made, not frozen that we bought, that he can walk to the refrigerator to get because he can't really cook on a stove. And then I have another friend come in twice a week and we'll get him real food. So she'll go to either get Chinese or get pizza.
And they'll bring
And
it
so for
down. They'll bring it down to
2
the.
days a week, she'll bring real food. And she'll come every couple days to clean the trash. And she'll come every 3-4 days to bring him the mail. And there's 3 or 4 of my friends that he's comfortable with. He's not a talker, doesn't want people around him. But when they come down, he's very congenial. So that's what happens. And then I'll call him every day at a specific time just to say hello. And he's usually pretty because he's mad because he's alone. And I'm happy because my 10 minutes on the phone and then I'm done and then my life continues. Because I can decompartmentalize. From being in building management, that helps a lot. because you never get a day where you can focus on one thing. You got to do 10, and none of them can be perfect. They all got to be just there. So that's my thing. And then I can't do anything at the last minute, so then I got to plan in advance. And then the things to bring up before I go, I got to plan, because it isn't like I can, I went to Wisconsin. I went to Indiana. I could buy this at, now I got X amount of hours. But I'm not complaining, because I'm alive and I'm not sick and I'm happy. So that is different. So what I would tell people is, think maybe when you say, you're just coming for a knee replacement, because you never really know.
No.
I mean, I can tell him go, move, but he can't really move on his own. He'd have to move to somewhere where there would be. He goes to the bathroom and takes showers by himself. It's just he can't really cook by himself because he can't stand that long unless he got a knee replacement. But then we don't even know how much he'd recuperate. So it's a circle jerk.
It's right on the borderline of what the editing process is going to be required here.
The heart cardiologist said to him, circle jerk. How old are you? I never heard that term before. Okay.
Wow. You're a planner, so I imagine you've thought this through, like, unfortunately it's not if, but when his health deteriorates enough where he cannot shower, bathe on his own, and he requires more assistance than what you can provide for him on a daily basis. Like, do you actually have that planned out? Like, you plan out everything else? Like, do you know the facility that he's going to go to?
Yeah, it's something that you don't talk about. I mean, him and I know, and he knows that when it comes a time that he can't go to the bathroom and shower by himself, that's not me. I'm not that helper.
Well, yeah.
So knowing that, he's got a little bit of funds, so that little, and then the government, he's on Medicare, Medicaid, they give you X amount, so they give you home health care, but they wouldn't give him 24/7, and
Nope.
he'd pay maybe his own money to stay in my house versus going somewhere.
But stay in your house with home health care coming
Yeah.
in to assist in
And that would have to be 24/7
Yeah.
because I'm not getting up to take him to the bathroom and wiping his.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that would have to be, so that doesn't give you much time with the amount of money. But he could do that till his money ran out, and then he'd have to go somewhere. And then he'd probably die pretty quickly.
Do you know where? Like,
No.
you actually have a place? That's a little surprising.
But it'd probably be city assisted. I mean, you can get it on your income, and you might pay $500-$700 a month, and it's a step up from. It'd be there's.
Have you looked into this?
I have for other people, so.
Why not for him?
And it because it changes from day to day. Rules change, governments change, people go out of business. So I'm not wasting that much time till it happens.
Okay.
But there's a plan.
So naturally, you don't talk about it because it's not pleasant. But
I mean, he knows this. But he don't even
well,
want
if you
to
don't
talk
talk-
about what he's going to eat today for lunch because it's a hassle.
Yeah. So if
You can imagine what
if
that's
you never
like.
talk about it, how do you know that you're on the
But
same
we have
page?
talked about it.
Oh, but you
so
do.
we do know that.
You just do it
When
once.
Before
and
he
then
moved in, that was a bit. And then now that he's gotten sick, that's another bit. And then every time he goes to the goddamn doctor, that's another bit. But it isn't something that you dwell on. Like I said, his main dwell of the day is the meal and what movie to watch at 2 o'clock.
Was it ever in consideration that you would say no to him coming to live with you?
No, not really. It was a thought, but
Yeah.
I mean, the car was not worth it. The car is like 10 months that I've already worked for you. So
yeah. Well, I mean, look. Here's the
financially.
No, but we're also sort of glazing past the. If I'm listening to this, like, the elephant in the room here is like, this guy's not family. You weren't married to him. So then, what this is? So you got to admit, it's a little unique, right? That you would take somebody
Yeah.
into your house. So, like, I'm thinking, like, okay, is this like childhood friend, or like, is
Oh
this
yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, we were friends in high school, and then his mother and my mother were the best of friends. They moved in the same building, senior
Okay.
building. You know, our families, we'd go there for dinner. So he's like, that's why I call him my cousin.
Oh,
And
yeah,
he was
but-
very helpful. And when when I got married, I mean, he would help us. He was real smart. You know, he owned businesses. And like he would go out and set up the car deals for us. He did, he found the house that we had in Vegas. He negotiated it. You know, he did stuff like that. So financially, he saved us money, and then he was our caretaker in Las Vegas. So he saved Jordy thousands and thousands. Like when a workman came to do something, we might get charged $3,000, he would get 300 because he was a negotiator. So it worked for him and it worked for us. So
Okay.
again, like you utilize your friends.
Right.
I utilize my friends, and he utilizes them more. But so that's why when Jordy passed away, I kept him as he moved in there as my caretaker because I didn't go all the time. But it was such a great deal, that house. I didn't want to give it up. And it was somewhere to go that was cheap, that was fun. But then when my friend got
Wait, he moved in where?
Las Vegas,
Oh, right. When Jordy
you know,
passed away.
I mean, we paid next to
Jordy was your
nothing.
husband, and
Yeah.
what were your friend? Let's call him Fred. Fred moved into the house in Vegas.
So he
and
stayed
Fred
there
lives with you. Fred's the guy who lives with you now.
because you can't leave it squatters in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a court case. So, and then when I went by myself, I didn't care if he was there because he was a friend. It was like having somebody else come, and it's safer. And then if friends did come to stay with me, he'd go to a hotel and stay for the week because he had
Okay.
given up his apartment. And he had a dog, and they all loved to pull, blah, 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 blah. So then when he couldn't really do a lot of the stuff anymore, like crawl around on the ground and do the pool, he said, I think I want to go to Chicago Northwestern, line up my knee replay, blah, blah, blah. And then that was like, okay, why not?
Okay. Let's move on. Let's finally move on to something more pleasant and fun. Because
More pleasant?
I'm just talking. I'm talking about just dying and like regrets and what do we
That's
what
not
do we regret?
unpleasant.
Well, sure it
For
is.
me,
I mean,
that's pretty
well, it's not. Well,
pleasant.
it sounds like nothing's unpleasant
Hey.
for you. But
Rob, that's pretty pleasant.
Here-
Not my death.
okay.
You didn't hear that.
So you heard my list of 9 things that
Mm-hmm.
I think people are unpleasantly surprised with when they retire.
Give me
Here's
one and
here's
I'll
the
be
list
quick.
of 6 things that I think or that I've observed people being surprised by that are nice. You'd think I would have these memorized off the top of
Not
my head,
really.
but I just came up with them not too long ago. So I suppose.
Because you're so busy, you're not
yeah.
retired.
So the theme here is surprise, right? So like surprise friends. People retire. There's more opportunity to be out and about. So like you end up meeting people that you wouldn't. And I think that's a nice feather in the cap when you retire to meet people you
That's
weren't.
if you're
You know.
an outgoing person.
I mean, yeah. I mean, regardless of how it happens, right? It happens. Surprise hobbies. I think of pickleball because I think pickleball is awesome because it brings people together, and certainly in a way that's a surprise because like the damn thing didn't even exist like 10 years ago, right? So yeah, new hobbies. Here's one: money. And I think this definitely coincides with the stock market deciding that it's never going to go down. I guess with the
Right.
exception of 2022, but I think there is a pained admission by people that they realize that I've got more money than I was expecting, or I have more money than I could spend, even though I would never really want to say that because I don't want to jinx or curse
Who are
myself.
these people?
I'm telling you, they're not. They're more. It's more common than you think because now it's not like they're going to act on it, right? By just going to be irresponsible. But I think there's, especially in the last 10 years or so, with the market, generally going nowhere but up, finding that I have more money than I planned at this point because I'm taking money from my 401k, and even after I take out the withdrawal, I have at the end of the year what I had at the beginning of the year, and so this is a realization that they weren't like planning on. Oh, stop it! If you would listen to me, you'd realize too that
I
there's
realize, but
there's
I don't
more.
think like that.
Well,
I'd like to have
doesn't
more.
doesn't make it true.
It's not happening.
let me finish my list. Number 4, I have all this time in my hands, so I have time to deepen my relationships with my friends and family, time to repair relationships with friends and family. I think this is one that I've observed over the years. We don't have to comment on all of these. I guess the list is 5 because these two are probably one and the same. But autonomy, and that I think people realize after like 50 years of your time not being your own, that a realization comes from having all of your time being your own. That like I can do whatever I want and whenever I want, and it's a nice realization that you can't really know it until you feel it, and you don't feel it until you experience it, and you don't experience it until you retire. So there you go. Apparently, you're not surprised by anything, so I'm not going to ask you if any of those hit your radar. But those are the things that I've found that people are pleasantly surprised by during their retirement.
Well, that's why I always wanted to retire. For the last thing you just said, to have
Well, no,
all
you
that.
said you didn't. You said you always want to retire because you hate working.
Well, for
ever
those
since you were
reasons,
12,
because then I could do whatever I want whenever
makes
I
me
wanted.
wonder about the work you were doing before 12 in the coal mines. At age
No,
10 or
but
11. Like, what are you talking about here?
You
Were
always had a boss.
You had a boss when you were
I
10?
could never quit.
Did you
Till
work?
I married Jordy, then I could quit if I wanted to.
And
But
did I
before
hear that?
Jordy, I couldn't.
Okay, I understand. Did you work before 12? Were you working when you were 10 or 11? Is that today?
I worked
Or
at 15.
Okay, so you were 12 when you realized that retire.
No, when I was about 20, I hated work. I was always
Okay.
like, I can't wait to retire. I can't wait to retire.
Oh, okay. I thought
One of those.
I thought you said 12 at the beginning of this
No,
conversation. That you realized
12,
at
who
12
knew?
that you wanted to retire. Okay, never mind.
No. But I never, it would have been nice to grow up and go to school and be pushed in something, or people have a business they grow in. You know what you're going to do and that makes you profitable, and with your health being good, it just flourishes.
Okay.
Then you don't have to worry about, well, if they fire me or if I quit, where am I going to work? I need my rent.
Got it.
And you're single.
Well, I thought of something that might hit your surprise radar. Did you ever think you would have thrown yourself the 75th birthday party that you just threw for yourself, which was pretty cool gathering, I got to say, and it's a really good example of you coordinating all of your people to pull together something that is pretty impressive, and I bet you planned it for. It would have taken most people probably more than what it took you to plan, but between the people that you know from various places, like you shut down a restaurant, you had a DJ that you had 40 or 50 people show up, you had a very amusing slideshow of pictures, So Ethan, this is exactly what I was talking about. This would be very cool if I gave you the pictures to show all 9 viewers, people who are going to end up watching this, the pictures from Lottie's 75th birthday party that was like a couple of months ago. So if we could be talking here right now, and and you are just clicking through this PowerPoint that showed pictures of Lottie doing strange things on the dance floor, and the people just having a good old time at a party that Lottie put together, that was pretty impressive. So I guess there's my question. Did you ever imagine putting together such a party for yourself?
Sure.
It's not.
I've been a party planner from 16.
All right. So then are you gonna plan a big one for your 80th
No,
then too?
because 75 was it.
Oh yeah.
75
Why?
was my dance party.
Jesus. So what are you gonna plan? What are you gonna plan, a tea party for your 80th? Because
No,
there's
it
no more
was
dancing.
75 was the cutoff.
Oh my God.
Anything
This
after
makes-
that, I'm just going away.
That I'm calling BS alert, red alert on that. There's no way you're not gonna
Oh,
do something for your 80th. That's
No,
not.
I'm not doing any more big parties like that. No.
All right.
I wanted to do that because then you die. So I figured
What are you
I'm
talking
doing
about?
this now. Well, I had a 60th birthday party that was 3 times the size of this one, and I did that.
Okay.
And I did it 2 years early because 20 people dropped dead. So I said to my husband, I'm not waiting until I'm 60 because more people are going to die and they won't be at my party. So I had it 2 years
Wow.
earlier. So knowing that,
Wait, so you threw your 60th when you were 58?
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
my mother died. A
Oh, my
lot of
God.
people died. And so I said, and he just thought I was nuts. But I had a big party. I had 220 people in my school gym, and we had a 7-piece orchestra. And it was Dance City. We had an Elvis impersonator, and we ordered catered food from Superdog. And it was 102 degrees. We had to go buy fans for the goddamn room because it was great. So this one was small compared to that. And I had less money to do it with, of course, because I'm cheap. But all I wanted to do was dance. And that's what I wanted. Because people say, oh, you have a martini bar. I don't give a damn about what you're drinking. I only care about me dancing. So that's why it was pizza, beer, wine, and music. And that's why I hardly ate any food, because by the time I got there after dancing, there was no food left. So I had a ball.
Wow.
And that's why. So that was it for big parties. I'm not wasting money anymore. So now I'll just go away on trips and do what I want to do.
So the only thing that's nuts about that is that you threw your 60th when you were 58. That's
Not really.
that's kind of wild. 2, your birthday's in March. Why was it 102 degrees outside?
Oh, I never had a party on my birthday because it was snow.
Obviously.
This is the first time I actually, and then I said, I'm doing this party on my birthday, and it was Sunday. And then most of my friends said, I don't want to come on Sunday. I want to come on Saturday. So then I had to have it on Saturday. But it was in the month. So I'll give you that.
So it was 102 degrees in March?
No, and when my 58, it was July.
Obviously.
When school was out.
Okay. So you did your 60th birthday when you were 58 and 4 months, as you do.
Yeah.
What? You don't find that at all strange? I mean, it's cool.
No, not at all. I already planned my memorial, so what the hell? I have my list when I die. I mean, I have my file where my brother and my niece know where to go, what to do, passwords, who to call, you.
Did you tell them what to say?
Oh, I've got it in a list. I mean, and my niece has it because my brother-in-law is so Catholic. He would want to buy me holy cards and have, the wake where I don't want. My niece knows I'm being cremated, and that's what it is, and it's all set up. So I have my backup, and so I have everything, and I have it where I want it to be and how I want it and the songs I'm playing, and it's crazy. But I don't want them to deal with anything, and it's all done, and I'm pretty happy. And at first that was going to be a party, and then I thought, why the hell would I want to blow $5,000 on a party when I'm dead that I can't even be at, when my family could have the $5,000 to go away? So that's why my 75th was my party. But I don't plan on dying until maybe 95, so.
Right. 95 and 4 months. Did you really tell these people what to say at your memorial? Like, did you
I
write
didn't
it
tell them
out?
what to say, but I have 3 speakers that I've picked.
And you're gonna.
And if they die, I've got backup. Because those I trust, and I know what they like and how they are and how they'll make me remember.
They're gonna make you look good and sound good.
Make me be remembered, and that's fine. And that's kind of crappy, but that makes me happy.
Yeah, no, and I bet you they're going to be so scared of you even after you're gone that they're gonna toe the line.
Who cares?
Well, yeah, maybe.
But that's the planner. So yeah.
Yeah. When did you plan your memorial? Like in 9th grade? This is nuts.
COVID.
Oh, okay.
When I bought my house, I bought my house in COVID. And for everybody else, COVID sucked. For me, I thought it was the best thing in the world because I had 2 years to clean everything that I brought in and get rid of everything that I wanted to go out, health-wise, building-wise, clothes-wise, friendship-wise, total. So when COVID ended, all I could do was party and play. For a couple of years till he
right,
moved in.
and it made you want to plan your memorial because
And I did that because my aunt, who had COPD in the end and had do not resuscitate, we would go to the hospital, and my brother, and they'd say, oh, well, my brother, no, don't take her off, don't take her. I said, she's got do not, oh, no. So for 3 days, we put that up because my brother's my brother. And then finally, he went for coffee, and that happened again, and they said to me, I said, she's got a do not, and then she died. Like, oh, she died. My brother, come back. I go, she's 97. What do you think she was going to do in the hospital? Go out and party? So that's when I decided I don't want him doing that to me,
Right.
you know? So I lined everything out. And then I made it nice financially because after Jordy dying and seeing how crappy it is when you don't tell people what you need to do with what you have and where to go, and they're not as educated as I am, some of my family members, you need that. So the only reason I got you is because I thought you were Morgan Stanley, remember? And it was J.P. Morgan.
Oh, that's right.
And it's
that's
like,
right.
I kept asking and you looked at me like I was crazy. And then finally we realized that I'm not talking like a
Like a sane person.
Right. So,
Right.
and that's where we went.
Wow.
So like these people, they clean their houses because they want people to deal with their mementos, which is a good idea. I mean, I'm not that anal, but when it came to money, I wanted everybody to know everything. I mean, if there's no money left, who cares? But still. So, and my whole family knows that. Like my whole family knows that, if I die early, their mortgages are paid off. If I die late, they're lucky they get to go on a trip. And if I die and if I get sick, I have 4 years long-term care. And after that, hopefully I'm senile and I'll be moving in with one of them and I really don't give a damn and they don't care. So I'm pretty happy that way. I'm not looking for, I don't want to die alone like some people. When you ask me why don't you date, it's, I don't need somebody to hold my hand later. Unless it's somebody I wanted to hold my hand.
I mean, but you did just say that you don't want to die alone, but you also said that you also just gave a reason for why you don't need to date. So those two
Right.
things don't.
Right. Like I have friends that always have to have somebody, whether it's, I don't need that. I'd rather be alone than be with you that I got to
Yeah.
put up with crap I don't care to. And as you're older, let's get real. I mean, the people that are my age, I don't want to be with. So. But again, I'm not saying there's nobody not out there. But,
Well, you keep throwing parties like the ones that you do, and you never know what could happen. I still can't believe. So
the 5860?
no. Well, that I guess a little bit of that. But so it sounded like Jordy dying was like the that was like the warning call of like, I'm not making the same mistake that he did of not planning all this out, because
just for that. I mean, he didn't make a lot of mistakes.
but like in terms of like not telling everybody what their role was going to be
he
and
was
what
the type that never talked about death.
Yeah.
I mean, when we got married and I was wife number 3, so you didn't expect diamonds and baubles at day 1. But whatever it is, my life was better than what it was going in because I came in with bills. But he was not, even though he had money, he wasn't the one that I was a trophy wife and we were going to have kids at age 50 and a nanny. That was not him. And he was like a kid, so I didn't need more kids. And at 42, the kid thing was gone, So he didn't talk. I mean, when we were married, we had a joint credit card, and that was it. No checking account, no nothing. I worked, I kept my money. He did what he did, and he subsidized. So
yeah.
His family was like, that's horrible. But for me, it worked and then after 7-8 years, then he felt comfortable, like I wasn't going to take him to the cleaners.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is more common for people that have second or third marriages, right? Like my finances are mine, yours are yours, kind of thing.
Right. And so that was fine.
Well, that wasn't. I mean, that's a surprise topic, but that's maybe for another time, because that's also a very common thing for people to have relationships later in life where they have to figure out, like, am I doing this? Are we really going to combine finances again after, dealing with a divorce?
Yeah.
And, but I guess that wasn't the case for you. You were like, this is your third time being married, so we are for sure keeping this separate.
Like,
It's not
people
even a
would say to
question.
me, well, aren't you afraid? I go, you know what? If we get divorced, I'm getting half of everything. I really don't care. It's more than what I had when I came in. And I could do a lot more when I'm alone then. So it didn't matter.
Yeah, I suppose. I think that's a pretty practical way of looking at it. I don't know that. I don't know if that's super
So it
common.
was always fun.
Okay. Well, before we finish, do you have any wisdom to impart? Like, if one of your friends was retiring tomorrow, what would you say to him?
My one regret is I should have made my residency Nevada, not
Jesus.
Illinois. I would have saved maybe $700,000. So, question, but if you don't know the questions, you don't know what to ask.
So really, it's go find an estate planning attorney so you can figure out the best tax situation for you. And by the way, that's the one thing that you would.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
because I lost a whole lot of money that way, and my accountants did this much touch, and I really wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of money.
So by filing in Illinois instead of Nevada, that
Yeah.
by your math, that
I
cost you
would have probably
seven.
had another $1 million.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That's also your math, though, right? I mean,
No.
I'm not discrediting.
No,
I mean,
I've done the math.
that's quite the calculation.
Yeah, I mean, when you sell houses and you do income tax and you have income tax on a business income tax, I lost a lot of money.
Look at this. Maybe this is a finance podcast.
And you didn't know it.
We are talking.
And you helped a little, but you wouldn't know what to ask because that wasn't your forte.
Well, until I'm
That
now
was my accountant's.
before becoming an enrolled agent, and now that I am
Now,
fully
but
licensed.
not then.
I was kidding. It's
and
tricky.
And then lawyers that I used that I switched because I was cheap, and then I went back to the lawyers that I had that were money but got the job done much quicker.
Yeah.
You live and learn. So that's a regret. So now when I have friends that I know that they do something, I say, and you got capital gains and you're a senior, your Social Security is different. You lose money all over. So when people tell you sell this and you made a profit, take out all those deductions and see where your profit is. It profitable to you to sell today? I mean, you got to think of all that.
Sounds like you'd tell someone to find good advice because your lack of it cost you $700,000 by way of living in the wrong state. I mean, you wouldn't have lived there full time, though, right?
I don't live there at all. I just
Well-
file there. You don't have. I have friends that come and go and never live there. I mean, you got to own a home. We owned a home.
Well, and you're supposed to live.
fine.
You're supposed to live there over half the year.
Get real, will you? It's Las
This-
Vegas.
Okay.
But yeah,
Go see your tax advisor. This is and don't listen to Lottie people about not needing to live in the state because
Or don't be cheap
183 days, Lottie. You need to live in the state
yeah.
for
I was
183
there
days
enough
to
if
file.
You go every 2 weeks.
Well, the IRS really gets to
But
decide what's
don't
enough,
be
not
cheap
you.
when it comes to something like that, because I have people that do divorces and they want to save money and then they go on for years. And we both know what we're talking about, and it's ridiculous. For what?
Find the good advice, and we're gonna shut it down here because we got a lot of swear words to edit out of here. I mean, some of them. We'll probably keep some of them, but
I didn't say too many. I didn't say the big one.
thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Thank you for asking me.
You're welcome.
Okay.
That's all for today, folks. We will see you next time.